What's good, everyone? Javen here for another show. You know how it is. Today I'm going to talk about a show that's a bit different to the other topics I talked about. It's something that I saw in the news the other day and it actually caught my eye, and it's actually about the UK retirement age expected to rise to you being 71. I think it's a very important show to talk about. Not that I'm nearly 71 years old, quite a long way after that, but it doesn't matter. It will affect me as time goes on, and most people actually, if I'm honest. Please, I said I'll be doing another show this week. I want to do get a bit more content going out. I want to do a bit more shows. I've always wanted to do a bit more shows. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Hit the notification button so you get notified of these shows coming out. So you don't catch them like days later. Hit the like button. And if you're new around here, subscribe. And also big up to the existing subscribers, the ones that actually watch the show, and hit the like button especially. Love you all. Do appreciate it. So the UK pension age, state pension age, that's been a topic for most people. A lot of people, it's very hard for a lot of people. I want to read this article by the Guardian actually, just to put some context around this. So it says, from the Guardian, it says UK state pension age will soon need to rise to 71, say experts. It says research on life expectancy and falling birth rates and ill health makes the status quo unsustainable. So it says the retirement age will have to rise to 71 for middle-aged workers across the UK, according to research into the impact of growing life expectancy and falling birth rates on the state pension. The UK pension age of 66 is set to rise to 67 between May 2026 and March 2028. From 2044, it's expected to rise to 68. So you see in a space of, so you're seeing that it's going up by at least 2 years. But the research suggests that this is not enough, and that anyone born after April 1970 may have to work until they're 71 before claiming their pension. This age limit may need to be set higher, say experts, thanks to the high rate of workers exiting the workforce before they reach state pension age, predominantly due to preventable ill health. Les Mayhow, the associate head of global research and the International Longevity Centre, in the UK state pension would need to be 70 or 71 compared with 66 now to maintain the status quo of the number of workers per state pensioner. But if you bring preventable ill health into the equation, that would have to increase even more. By 70, only 50% of adults in England and Wales are now disability free and able to work. Jesus, see? By age 70, only 50% of adults in England and Wales are now disability free. That is crazy. A smaller working population and a larger economically inactive population reduces the tax base to pay for pensions and creates huge labour shortages, which creates its own problems. I'm going to kind of skip some of these parts. Let me say this: younger people, their research has found, do not have the financial assets that their parents and grandparents did. So this is key. In 2010, those under 40 held £7.53 of every £100 of wealth. By 2020, that had fallen to £3.98. One third of the UK's 14 million Gen Xers are at risk of retiring on insufficient income. There's something to be spoken about there. The over 60s should finance their own extra retirement years since they have received such generous treatment from the state. The money raised can be used to invest in improving the health and prospects of younger generations so they are less of an economic burden as they age. Oh my God. I'm not going to read anymore. So guys, I don't need to read the whole article, that's just too much. But yeah, this is something that I thought about for a while. So obviously I'm very much about my business, of knowing about things, and also just like thinking about things as they are going on. Not one of them people that just, not to blow my own trumpet, just like, just people just like in society, just like, they're just taking what is and what's coming to them, but not actually understanding why something is, where something could potentially be going. They're just getting, this country shafts us. I'll be honest, this country does, like, they take us for punks, man. And what's key, the stuff that's got to say, they kind of said it in the article already, but I'll elaborate on it. So they said stuff about young people's financial assets that their parents and grandparents did. Yeah, so a lot of people can't afford homes these days, properties these days, as we know, which is a different conversation in itself, but it kind of ties into it. So less people have the money for their own properties, where they get in like their money, money for the future from. Do you understand what I'm saying? And like times are getting harder, man. Times are getting harder out there for people. People struggling to get into work as well. Jobs that don't want to pay, so obviously out of work, you're not contributing to pension. So later on, you got that. People are living longer, which in a grand scheme of things is good. Who wouldn't want to live longer? Yeah, unless you are unless unfortunately you're ridden by complete ill health and then you can't just generally function day to day. Generally, it's a good thing for life expectancy to go up with advances in medicine and treatment, more knowledge of how to. Back in the day, 50 years old was considered old. Nowadays, 50 years old is not really old anymore. They say that 40 is the new 25, 50 is the new 30 or 35, and 60 is the new 40 now these days. That's what they're saying. People are living longer. You notice that people of a higher age range back in the day used to be like had hunchbacks and like walking sticks. Nowadays, first of all, their bodies are not like that these days as much anymore. Their hair's not even grey anymore. They still got coloured hair, and that's all different. I'm not going to go too much into that, but like people are a bit more, like they're just living longer. So I was thinking, well, if people are living longer, I thought that surely the retirement age by default was going to go up, even without the other problems that was mentioned in that article, right? The retirement age is going to go up because, let's say before, back in the days, as morbid as it was, you had people that literally just retired and within like 2-3 years they died. Unfortunately, I'll be honest, their life was over. They died, and then you think about it, it was a win-win for the establishment because they ain't got to pay out. Because the thing is, if you've retired from work and you're living longer, you ain't dying, they got to keep paying all that money into you because they got to pay all that pension back into you. If you're dead, there's nothing they don't need to pay you. You don't need to pay someone that's died, do they? So if they're living longer, they get you working longer. And this is what I'm gonna say, because this is what I'm gonna say about ill health. And then this is another key stat they mentioned in the article. Those aged 70 and onwards, so 50% of adults are disability free. That's half of that population of that around that age group. That's not good at all. So a lot of people, for me, this is part of the reason why I'm personally someone that's in the gym and active. For me personally, my advice is I think more people need to be active, man. I'll be honest. You can't predict the future. You just don't know what's gonna happen. Like, to me, like, there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna have to work a lot later. They need to be able to, and obviously the older you get, the harder it is for you to work because you ain't got as much energy as you used to. You're not as strong as you used to be. You may not be as alert as you used to be. Maybe some things require your eyesight to be certain things. Your eyes deteriorate as you get older. Generally, like all these just natural aging processes, right? Just things that they're not made. Why do you think you've got things like age discrimination in the workplace? Why you got people that don't want to give older people jobs anymore? They say, oh no, we want someone else to come in. They're discriminating because of your age, assuming that you can't do something. That's not necessarily true. Like, you got some people that are my age, if not younger than me, that have got problems, but they just think that they're just lumping every age bracket to one group and assuming that just closed-minded the way you're thinking. But that's what it is at the moment. With the era we're in, times are hard. So the pensions are not generally. You got people that the old age of work for 40 years retire. That's not enough. Not enough these days. Like, just to live off what you couldn't afford in the first place. It's all one big societal scam that's been going on for years. But more people will wake up to this. But what I'm saying is, for me, my advice is, I think people that your average Joes, most people are your average person, which is fine, and you society's made up of most of your average people. If I'm being completely honest, my advice, not we can't all be, we can't, and not all of us will be, and not all of us can be multi-millionaires, but that can enjoy the high life. But what I'm gonna say is, my thing is, I'll try and be active as much as possible, be fit, be in the gym, because there's something called a lot of people. At the end of the day, yeah, imagine you need to work into your 71 and you need to work. Some people work by choice, that's fine, but let's say, for example, you need to because you ain't got enough money to retire. A lot of people say they can't even afford to retire now. They're in their mid-60s, where before they retire, now they can't afford to retire. They still got to pay off this or that, or they need to, for whatever reasons. Everyone's circumstances are different. You need to be healthy, you need to be in the gym. There's something called, for those that don't know, my people that are into their fitness and PTs, or just people that don't know about their stuff, there's something called sarcopenia, which is an age-related muscle loss. Like, you need to be able, which means that you become more frail, that you lose your muscle mass as you age. Naturally, if you're not, they say if you don't use it, lose it. And also, I think people need to be in that. More than ever need to be eating the right amount of foods and need to be training in a gym. I'm not turning this into like a gym talk, but what I'm trying to say is, in context to, you need to be fit and healthy. Bear in mind, this stuff is going to happen because you need to be able to compete competent, at least, with people that are younger, if you have to work at a later age, because you need to be able to feed yourself. So you need to be able to be mobile. You need to be able to, some jobs might require you to still lift heavy stuff, and you need to be able to do that still. So you need to be able to hit the weights, be strong. Don't need to be no bodybuilder, or need to be deadlifting, I don't know, 150 kilos, but you need to be enough where you can just move stuff. Some jobs are going to still require you to move certain things. You can't do that, they don't want to give you the work, but then you still need to work. So, do you know what I mean? I think it's not looking good for people, man. I just thought it's very interesting to talk about this as well. I'm thinking, bro, like, even though I'm just a guy in my 20s, I was born after 1970. Yeah, so I'm part of that age bracket that's going to be, and who knows, again, by the time, let's say in 10 years time, they might increase it to 75. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, we need to make sure that we're primed. Obviously, there's some things that are outside our control, because they mentioned preventable illnesses but what I mentioned about things like sarcopenia as a one-off example, that is very preventable. Like, you don't have to accept all the changes that happen to your body because you can age. You can put things in place that reverse the aging effect. Now, obviously, a fit 20-year-old and 30-year-old something will always beat a fit, generally a 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds, obviously, but it'll still be enough for you to be competent to be able to do some functional day-to-day things still. There's no excuse. With all the research out there, you need to just make sure that you're doing it. It's not about training to look good, or it's more to be at least functional. It's not even about being optional now. You just have to be able to do it. But it's not good news. But yeah, I just thought, and also guys, this is a bit different. Let me know what you think in the comment sections below. Like, what's your thoughts on the retirement age? Looking like they want to increase it to 71. What's your reasons why they think they're gonna do that? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Yeah, just let me know in the comment sections below. Comment. I try to answer all the comments as possible generally. And also, again, yeah, hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Hit the like button, please. It makes the algorithm go, makes it spread out, because these shows, to me, I saw that stuff that I really like, that I find interesting, and I want it to be seen by a lot of people that may also find it interesting as well, and also get our subscriber count up. You know, I support you all. But yeah, guys, let me know. Yeah, until next time.